Hi, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel again. I'm Sherrie Funk, and my husband Charlie and I own Just Cruisin Plus. We are a travel agency located in Brentwood, Tennessee, and we specialize not only in cruises, but also in land-based vacations. And today we have two uh, very interesting guests with us, and so I'm going to turn this over to Charlie and let him introduce them.
It's our pleasure to have Daniel de Candia Fernandez with us today and his partner, Daniela. They're going to tell us all about Spain. Sherrie and I have been to Barcelona several times and have had the pleasure to drive up Costa Brava and into the southern part of France. And just as someone who comes only to New York cannot go home and believe they have seen all of the United States, one cannot come only to Barcelona and believe they have seen Spain. And Daniel is going to give us an overview of the many magnificent things to see and do on a visit to Spain. Take it away, Daniel.
Okay, thanks Charlie and Sherrie for the introduction. I will present Spain as a destination. We are the second most visited country in the world after France, with more than 18 million tourists per year. Not this one because of the COVID, but we will hope next year we have more and more visitors. Okay, we will start saying that we are in the western part of Europe, and where climate is mainly wet and cooler in the north, and maybe dry, sometimes wet in the south part of the peninsula that we are located. We have so many hours of sun and good climate in the Mediterranean coast, as you can see in the map. The southeast coast of Spain, and that's the reason because a lot of British, Germans, and French comes to visit us every year. The official language, of course, is Spanish. We have the euro as the currency in our country, like the many countries in the European area. And you can use, of course, all credit cards that you have. Maybe the American Express is not very known, not very well used here, but you can choose the other ones. American Express if you want to, but you run the risk maybe not to be accepted in some places. Okay, I don't want to give you 1 hour speech about history of Spain. We have more than 2,000-3,000 years old, but just I want to say that there were many tribes in Spain, like in the US or in the rest of Latin America, and the Romans, the Roman Empire, conquered the peninsula in the year about 200 before Christ. They stayed here for 300 years, and then they came another tribe from Europe that they called Visigoth. And then in the year 700, the Muslims from the north of Africa came to Spain, and they stayed here for 8 centuries. Almost all Spain was occupied by Muslims. And then the Christians in the peninsula reconquered all the peninsula that they were in the north, just trying to defend the Christianity in those ages. And in the year 1492, the same year that America was discovered, the last Muslims in Spain were expulsed, were kicked out of the country. Okay, I wanted just to let you know about that because our history, our heritage, our traditions is a mixture of all these kind of things. The Roman Empire gave us the Latin language that we have, the Andalusian in the south part of the peninsula. You will find a lot of buildings, complex fortresses. I will explain it about shortly. I will just show you a 3 minutes video of what is Spain for our friends. I need Spain, you need Spain. So call Sherrie and Charlie for visiting us. Okay, so this is just an approach of what it is about Spain. Okay, let's start by areas in the peninsula, talking about the green Spain, the north part of Spain. Santiago, Asturias, Bilbao, San Sebastián could be the major or the most known cities in this area. Santiago, you may hear about the Camino de Santiago, the way of Saint Jacques, yes, Saint Jacques. I will tell you about this now. And so many places in the north that they are not very visited. They weren't very visited in the last decades, but nowadays they are being more visited by the people that already knows Spain, but this area was forgotten to visit in the normal itineraries. Okay, let's start talking about the Camino that is in the north of Spain. The Camino is a pilgrimage way where people start walking between 10, 15 miles a day during 1 week, 10 days, maybe 1 month, just because of emotional, spiritual, and mainly religious Catholic reasons. When they reach Santiago, they can start in the border of France, they can start in the middle of the Camino, they can start wherever they want, but they have to reach Santiago de Compostela, as you can see in the corner up and right, sorry, and up and left. And Santiago de Compostela is the city where the apostle Santiago, the apostle of Christianity, friend of Christ, was buried, was found the rest of the body. So that's the main point. And this is the most ancient route, more busy and more celebrated of the old continents. Okay, as you can see, you can do this Camino walking, 10, 15 miles. It is 15, 20 kilometers per day. And you have to be motivated for doing this. You can do it by bike also. The by bike may be 50 kilometers per day. But there are some stages. Yes, Daniela.
And even by horses.
And even by horses, yes, yes. So I mean, the normally is that people walks, but you may find different ways to make the way or to do the way. Okay. Paradores. What is this of paradores? Okay, paradores is accommodation throughout Spain based on monasteries, castles, convents of the Middle Ages, where you can sleep in rooms like this one before, sorry. Special rooms, special courtyards inside the building. And this is in Santiago, this Parador, that is hotel, it was a hospital in the Middle Ages that welcomed the pilgrims just to heal the fits, you know, the illnesses they could have for making this Camino. This is a special and luxury accommodation, but it deserves at least once in life to sleep there and to enjoy this accommodation. Okay, Asturias, I told before that it was in the green Spain. You can know why, look in this picture. Because Europa is a national park located in Asturias. There where the Christians were trying to defend the peninsula. And it's really, really nice. Then we have Bilbao. I don't know if you have heard about the Basque country. It's a region with different people that they don't talk. I mean, not different people, but they have their own culture, their own language that it is not Spanish, that is Basque.
Inside Spain.
Inside Spain, yes. It's like a small nation between the border of Spain and France. And Bilbao is the capital. So Bilbao has this special museum that you can see here, the Guggenheim Museum. I mean, it's another Guggenheim Museum that was built in 1997. And this unique character comes from combining avant-garde and tradition, charming, I mean, avant-garde. And also you can find in Bilbao charming streets and bars offering pinchos that I will explain it about it in a meanwhile. Pinchos is like small dishes with mm, ham or fish or special dinner prepared by special chefs. I don't know if I'm talking a lot, but maybe I I like to talk. Okay, then we have San Sebastian, that is near Bilbao, 1 hour driving, is the Basque Country also, and you can see the beach, and it's a fisher. It was a fisher village. Now it's a big city, nice city. And next to Bilbao and San Sebastian, you will find my favorite region, Rioja. You know why my favorite region? Red wine. Love it. One of the best in the world. Rioja wine. You can sleep in this hotel that is Marqués de Riscal. This area, Rioja, has 500 wineries, 500. And it's internationally famous for the quality of the wines. You have a lot of activities to choose. You can do horse riding in the middle of the vineyards, or hot air ballooning, or 4x4 routes in this area. And obviously, to visit wineries, tasting, degustating wine, cheese, ham, all together in one day, special. Okay, then we move down in the map, and we will find Madrid. Madrid and cities that you can visit in one day, half a day, excursions, 1 hour. Maybe you can choose 2 cities, and you can visit it in one day. Madrid is the capital of Spain, and we are here, 6 million people in the region. You can visit Escorial, Segovia, Ávila, Aranjuez, Toledo, and La Mancha. Let's go deeper. In Madrid, you can find the Museo del Prado, that has one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest museums in the world. It has Spanish paintings from the 11th century to the 18th century. It has Van Dyck, Rembrandt, not only Spanish painters, but also international. This is one of the main parts of the city that you have to visit. The Reina Sofia National Art, the Reina Sofia Museum, also has contemporary, international art, but covering from the 19th century to the present day. And you will find this painting that you have, that is made by Picasso, a famous painter, and this Guernica. Guernica was a city in the north of Spain, attacked by in the Second World War, and this painting was located in the United Nations building in the New York, but was painted by this Picasso painter, and it came back finally to Madrid. Plaza Mayor, you will find this kind of plazas, squares, in every city in Spain, but in Madrid is special. And Gran Via Avenue, that is the Broadway, the Madrilenian Broadway. I cannot say anything else about Gran Via because it's Broadway. Theaters, good restaurants, nightlife, people dancing everywhere. So
And shops.
yes, and shops, yes, and tapas, and good ñam ñam, huh? Perfect. Good beer, sangria. Okay, then we have in Madrid the Royal Palace. The Royal Palace was an alcázar, a Moorish castle. Then it was a Christian castle, and in the 18th century, the actual, the nowadays dynasty built this palace because they wanted. They said, okay, we are the king, so please build up this building for me. Now it's really nice to visit the inside of the Royal Palace. It takes maybe 1 hour, 1 hour and a half to visit it deeply, maybe 2 hours, but it's a must if you come to Madrid to visit this palace. And in front of the palace, you will find the Almudena Cathedral, where the actual king was married, with our queen. And Puerta de Alcalá, that is a must if you visit Madrid to take a picture of the city. It's a triumphal arc that one king, Charles like you, Charlie, Charles the Third, wanted to build for the arrival of this king to Spain in 1778, in the year 1778. And it's 60 feet tall, but it's very representative of the city. Okay, you will find a lot of accommodation in Madrid. We have many hotels, from the 3 stars, 4 stars in the outskirts of the city, 4 stars superior accommodation in the city center, like this one, Vinci Via 66, for all the budgets. So people, if you want to come to Spain, the money is not an excuse. Come to visit us. Okay, Aranjuez is a nice palace outside the Madrid area. In half-day excursion, you can visit it. It's another residence of the royal family, but you can visit it. Nice. 1 hour driving from Spain, from Madrid. You will find the aqueduct. It's one of the oldest aqueducts nowadays in the world, built by Romans, and it has 167 arcs held together only by the balance of forces. Okay, so if you take out one stone, everything falls down. So take care not to crash it. And it is 100 feet high, 30 meters high. I like it. Is it nice? I like it. Oh, in front of this aqueduct, there is a good restaurant. That is, Daniela, Cándido.
Maison
Restaurant.
Cándido.
Maison Cándido. And you can eat suckling pig, cochinillo, we call it in Spain.
Roasted suckling pig.
Oh, it's delicious, with a good wine, of course. No beer. That's for Germany and other countries. Here, wine, always. Okay, in the same city, Segovia, that the aqueduct, you will find this castle that could be one of the inspiration castles for Walt Disney to draw the logo of the Disney World. You can visit it. It's a medieval castle from the 13th century, and the Crown of Castile was using this throughout the Middle Ages. Isabella the Catholic and Ferdinand the Catholic, they were the kings in Spain when America was discovered. I mean, they were the, how do you say, the makers, the organizers of the trip of Christopher Columbus. So they were there. So Christopher Columbus went there and say, okay, I want to discover America, give me money. And the king said, okay, I will give you a check tomorrow. Come on, go with the ships, cross the Atlantic, that you have to cross the Atlantic back to visit us. Okay. Avila Wall, next to Segovia, half an hour driving. You will find Avila. It is one of the cities. They are among the best preserved and most complete in Europe, this wall. And they protect medieval World Heritage City of cobbled streets, and interesting churches, delicious local cuisine, and tranquil atmosphere. You can walk in these walls. It is 1 mile long, and you can take a walk. Okay, Toledo, 3 cultures, 1 city, is more or less the same than Toledo and Segovia. Sorry, the Avila and Segovia. But in this city, they lived in peace, Jewish, Arabs, and Christians during the Middle Ages. And it's maybe the most visited city in the outskirts of Madrid. So you do remember Avila, Segovia, Aranjuez, blah, blah. Toledo is a must. If you don't visit Toledo, okay, this is a synagogue inside Toledo, and Santa Maria la Blanca. It's very well to know it, to visit it. Then, if I show you this picture of the windmills of El Quijote, you will find that they are well preserved, and this castle is located in Consuegra. Also 1 hour and 30 minutes to visit it from Madrid. Okay, then we go to Charlie's favorite place. After Tennessee, huh? I mean, sorry, excluding Tennessee, okay? Barcelona. Barcelona is the most visited city in Spain. It's a cosmopolitan city. Then you have excursions to Girona, Figueres, Andorra, Montserrat. I will explain this. Barcelona Parkwell. Do you remember, Charlie? Yeah. It was created by Dalí, that was an architect. Sorry, Dalí, no. Gaudí. Dalí was the painter. And Barcelona is overlooking the Mediterranean Sea and famous for this architect, Gaudí, and another Art Nouveau architecture. Barcelona is one of the Europe's trendiest cities. A walk along the seafront, evenings on a rooftop terrace with view to the skyline, spacious parks, and we will give you one of the best experiences of your life just visiting these places. Sagrada Familia is also created by Gaudí, the same that created Parkwell. It started to be built in the year 1883, yes, I said okay. And nowadays it's still built, and they will finish it in 2026. Okay, due to the COVID, 2028 or 2030, we don't know exactly. It's a must to visit Sagrada Familia. 2 million visitors it has per year. 2 million visitors inside this church every year.
Daniel, Charlie and I have been to La Sagrada at least 3 or 4 times, but we have never been inside since it has opened inside.
But Sherrie, when you visited the Sagrada? I mean, 10 years ago, or?
The first time in 1998, so 23 years ago. And then...
And the last time?
The last time...
2006.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
15 years.
Yeah. I visited the last time around 2007, and it was impossible to visit it inside because they were building. So if you get inside, you will be only stones and workers. This picture is new. I mean, it has maybe 5 years. So now you have to come back and to visit the Sagrada Familia again because it's different. Because
it's marvelous.
It's in the process of building. You are being witness of the creation of the cathedral. Okay, come and visit this.
I've always said that La Sagrada Familia on the outside looks like Walt Disney built a huge sand castle.
Yes.
I think maybe Sagrada Familia has inspired Disney in some way.
Yeah, completely. Gaudí, it was a modernist architect, but crazy in the style, because you have also many buildings in Barcelona, like La Pedrera or Casa Batlló, that is buildings created by him and has really rare, extravagant forms. So it's interesting. Okay, this is one of the example of the hotels you will find in Barcelona. Five-star hotel, all brands in Barcelona. You will find all hotels, Marriott, Hilton, Mercure, that is French, Spanish, a lot of them. Always with for all budgets. Charlie, Lloret de Mar and Costa Brava. It's beautiful to drive Costa Brava. You don't have car. You take one of our marvelous excursions, and you will visit medieval castles, coves, and also you can do some water sports in this area. Terraces, bars, and restaurants will be found in these areas also, like all in Catalonia, all this region. Okay. This is another excursion from Barcelona. Montserrat Monastery has a virgin that is, how do you say, celebrated. A lot of people in Catalonia is devoted of this virgin in Montserrat, and it has a special form of the hill. So it's a main spot for pilgrims and religious tourism. Figueres is another city that has their main spot in the Dalí Museum. Dalí, it's a painter that has a mustache, big mustache. I could have put a picture of Dalí. It was crazy, completely crazy.
Right, Salvador Dali. He is.
That's it, Salvador Dali. I didn't know if you know it's crazy man, but intelligent, an artist, complete artist. So you can see and you can visit the Dalí Museum there. And then Girona, it's also combined with Figueres when you make a full day excursion from Barcelona. Girona is medieval also, and it's fine. Okay, then you can go to Andorra from Barcelona. What is Andorra? Andorra is not Spain. If I'm explaining Spain, why I'm explaining Andorra? Andorra is another country of the European Union, but located in the middle of the Pyrenees Mountains. It has no airport because they are only 50,000 inhabitants. There you can find two possibilities to enjoy the country. For the ski in winter, obviously because it's in the mountains, and nature and sports in the spring. And also you can do shopping there because it's a tax-free state inside the European Union. So you can buy a lot of things to go to the US with a lot of things if the customs allows. But you can visit it from Barcelona. But you need from Barcelona from 12 to 15 hours to visit this country, because 3 hours to go, 6 hours to stay and to visit it, and 3 hours to come back. Okay, so but you check in your map that, oh, I visited Spain. No, but another country, Andorra also, because it's another country. It doesn't
You
belong.
can tick it in your map.
Yeah, that's the reason. I always, when I visit, I don't know, a country, I don't know, Italy. Okay, I go to the Vatican because the Vatican is another state. I have visited two countries, so it's nice to know it, because some people doesn't know it, and it's really nice to visit it. Okay, let's go to the main, I think the main destination in Spain, that is Andalusia. everything. Do you know Rosalia is a singer nowadays in the U.S. very famous. That is a flamenco. Is a singer. She comes from here. Antonio Banderas, Penelope Cruz, Hollywood actors that are from Andalusia. South part of Spain, you will find a lot of bull fight squares. That's the reason, because you have there the picture. We will go deeper in this destination. Seville, the capital of Andalusia. You will find a cathedral that is also from the Middle Ages. You can look the cathedral, take a look in the building. You can see the tower. That's the reason, that's why it was a mosque at the very beginning. So the mosque has this tower to call to the Muslims to pray, you know? How do you say it in English, Daniela?
Yes, the prayer, the Muslim prayer.
The Muslim prayer. Okay, and as the Muslims were living there during 8 centuries, they built these towers. So when the Christians came to reconquer the city, they say, okay, nice tower for our church. No more mosque, now a church. That's the reason. And you will find these kind of things in all Andalusia. And then you have Plaza España. It was built for 1 century ago for an Ibero-America exposition, and there is Plaza España has this is a film location for many movies like Lawrence of Arabia and Star Wars. It was filmed here, so nice to visit it. And the Guadalquivir River and Golden Tower is a nice picture of the city. The Guadalquivir River just goes in the middle of the city. Granada, Alhambra, one of the most important cities in Spain to be visited. To get into the Alhambra is difficult. I mean, a lot of people wants to go inside, but this is a complex and a palace.
Book in advance.
Yes, that I wanted to say that. Book in advance. We need to confirm the tickets, Daniela. You know, you know it.
Yeah,
to confirm the tickets,
well in advance.
First, buy the ticket of Alhambra. Then take your flight, the hotel. You know what I mean?
Yes, this is the most visited monument in Spain.
And it's smaller than Sagrada Familia, so it's complicated. Complicated, but not difficult. With Sherrie can arrange all entrances and guided tours inside there, but we need a guide for 15 people or something like that. I mean, they have very strict rules. Okay, let's
book in advance.
Yes. Here, a sign, book in advance. Okay, so this complex is at the foot of the Sierra Nevada in the city. It was Muslim, but it was reconquered by the Catholic monarchs in 1492, the year of the America discovering. And you can see in this city a lot of life, a lot of places. I mean, the Albaicin is one of the neighborhood there in the city that you must visit because of the streets, because of the atmosphere, because of the real Andalusian spirit and the real Spanish spirit of the country. You can see Islamic decoration, of course. It was built by Muslims, and the Generalife Gardens are one of the best in the world. The Generalife Gardens were built between 13th and the 14th centuries. And this complex of Alhambra was one of the largest political and aristocratic center of the Muslim West. Okay, so it's highly recommended to visit it. This is one of the examples to sleep in Granada, a convent of nuns. Okay, you can sleep there, and you can eat in a library. In the library of the convent, you have at the restaurant. Oh, nice building. Like Paradores is a style of. Okay, let's go deeper in Cordoba. Cordoba was the capital of the region, Andalusia, and you have a great mosque there. You can see it. Sometimes it's visited from Seville in a one-day excursion. Okay, but also it's nice to visit it. Then you have Malaga. It's a big city. It's the capital of Costa del Sol. Costa del Sol, Marbella is like Monte Carlo. Casinos, yachting ports. And if I show you this picture of this street with the flowers, your mind comes immediately to Costa del Sol. I mean, this is very representative what is Costa del Sol. Shopping, you can see a lot of brands and beautiful beaches. A lot of people comes here, a lot of people. You have to visit this also. And Costa del Sol is coast of the sun because 360 days per year you have sun. And Costa del Sol and Costa del Golf. Why? Because you have plenty of golf courses in Costa del Sol. All people from Northern Europe comes here to play golf. Okay, now I will introduce Daniela, my friend.
Okay. Okay, I will continue with the Balearic Islands. Spain have two groups of islands, the Balearic Islands and the Canary Islands. The Balearic Islands are these ones here. They are Mediterranean islands, and we have three main islands, Ibiza, Mallorca, and Menorca, and then a fourth of them that's very small here, we can see, Formentera. We have daily connections from many parts of continental Spain to the islands. It takes about 1 hour by plane, or you can also cross by ferry. It takes from 6 to 9 hours, depending on where you go and from where you live. For instance, Mallorca is the largest of the three main islands. It is the most visited, and these islands are best to visit during the European summer months between June and September. In this island, you can visit many beautiful beaches, but there are also some culture there. You can visit La Almudaina Palace, the Palma Cathedral that you are seeing the picture at the bottom. There's a castle, there is a monastery. There are also inside some great mountains, the Tramontana Mountains. There are orange plantations, little small villages. There are many sports that you can do in this island. Water sports, you can visit the zoo. There are aquatic parks, you name it. You can do some shopping. Then I will mention the second of the islands, Minorca. You can see some turquoise waters here. This island is very peaceful because there are not so many tourism. And the third most well-known island is Ibiza. It is well-known because of its nightlife, and it's a very exclusive island. Famous people from all over the world come to spend their summer here. In this picture, we are seeing the Hard Rock Hotel in Ibiza. This is located in a beach, and it's next to a disco. This is the first Hard Rock Hotel in Europe. it's just an example of what you can, the type of accommodation that you can choose here in Ibiza. And there's Formentera Island that it's next to Ibiza, and there's a marine park that's very interesting, and scuba diving is great. So now I will continue with the Canary Islands. The Canary Islands, as you can see on the map, they are located near Africa in the Atlantic Ocean, but they belong to Spain. And it takes about 2 hours by plane to reach any of these islands. There are daily connections. It's a group of 7 islands. The most famous islands are Tenerife and Gran Canaria, but we also have Lanzarote, Fuerteventura, La Palma, El Hierro. As you can see on the picture, there are many things that we can do here. We have some World Heritage villages. We can sunbathe, we can do water sports. There are natural parks, there are green forests, and these are volcanic islands. In this picture, we are seeing the black volcanic sand beach. As you can see, these islands are volcanic, so most beaches are with black sand, although there are some with golden sand. So if you prefer the golden sand ones, please ask and we will recommend. Another thing that I would like to point out, the other picture, please. The Teide National Park, Daniel. This is the Teide National Park. This is located in the center of Tenerife, and is the highest peak in Spain with 3,700 meters high. It is the national park most visited in Spain. And another interesting view is this plant that is endemic to the islands. It can be found all over the islands. It measures up to 3 meters. And if you want to see them, please come during late spring to early summer. They are in full bloom.
I think now. Okay, let's continue. I want just to say that in Spain you can visit it all: art, leisure, coast, city tourism, nature, routes, shopping, everything you need. It's really special to visit. Okay, we have a little video. I don't know if we are in time, Sherrie, or okay. Costa del Sol. Modern painting. Shopping for sure.
Exclusive shopping.
Este es Madrid. Casa Batlló, Gaudí style building. All European brands are in Spain. You can rent a limousine with us. You can go on concerts to enjoy this performance. Museo del Prado, Madrid. Flamenco, Alhambra, Generalife, claro. Also, good accommodation to relax also, not only to visit. Quixote windmills, and obviously, good cuisine. This is not the ring bell boy, this is the ring bell old man. Jerez in Andalucía. I will talk about this. Luxury trains. 1 week traveling. Golden Tower, Seville, Plaza España, nightlife, Ibiza, Costa del Sol. Okay. If I were you, I would choose Spain as a destination. Okay, let's go. As I told you before, we have two special trains like the Orient Express, but here in Spain. The Al Andalus that is in the north in Andalusia, that it takes about 1 week, and you can sleep there, eat there, and it makes stops to visit the most interesting places: Ronda, Jerez, Cádiz, Seville, of course. It is from Seville to Cordoba. And the Transcantábrico is the other train that goes in the upper zone of the peninsula, the green Spain, from Santiago, do you remember the Camino, to San Sebastian. Do you remember San Sebastian? So 1 week traveling. I don't want to give you an idea that this is cheap. This is not cheap, but it deserves to pay. I don't know. I don't remember exactly.
It is worth it.
Yeah, it is worth it. Once in life. Huh? Okay, flamenco dinner show. You know flamenco. If I put just a few seconds of this dance, the typical and the national dance show in Spain. What we offer is to have a good dinner, good wine, enjoying this performance. These are Spanish gypsies. The gypsy kings? Okay. It is related to this performance. This is one of the UNESCO list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Okay. If you want further information about flamenco, you search in the YouTube flamenco show. You can find it in Madrid, in Barcelona, and in all Andalusia. Okay, not in the north of Spain because they have another culture. Okay, this is the Spanish cuisine. Let's start by paella. That is maybe you know it. We have Valencian paella that is with rabbit and chicken and seafood paella. Then you have ham, that we have Serrano ham from white pigs and Iberico ham from black pigs. This is most expensive. And Spanish omelette, tortilla de patatas, Spanish tortilla. This is an omelette with potatoes, some sausage maybe, some onion maybe, it depends. My mother likes onion in it, so I recommend it. Fabada, this is a stew from Asturias with white beans and sausage and pork. Croquetas. Croquetas are tubes of bechamel sauce encased in fried breadcrumbs. And churros. Churros are deep fried dough pastry as finger licking good as Spain. And you take one of these pastries and you melt it. Sorry, you introduce it in a cup of melted chocolate, and beautiful. A lot of calories, I know, but delicious. Okay. Special events. I want to say that Cordoba patios in May, all the neighbors of the center of Cordoba city open their gates, their doors, to welcome all visitors to see the flowers and how it's decorated. The fallas in Valencia, they build in Valencia, the city of Valencia, they build this kind of um, this kind of the statues of cardboard statues, and they burn it to celebrate the coming of the spring. Nowadays, it has to be. I mean, these days, March the 22nd, when we are recording this, we should have this event now in Spain. Obviously, by COVID, is forbidden, it's closed. And Daniela, I don't know if
Cancel, yes.
it's canceled. Feria de Sevilla. A lot of people from Seville, they dress up, they sing, they drink, get fun. And this is in April. It is the city gets really full of people, and you have to leave that in fear, because the flamenco is alive in these people of Andalusia and Seville.
In the streets.
In the streets, that's it. They live in their houses, but for 1 week, they make parties in tents. We call it casetas, in tents. So they come together, dancing and flamenco and singing and getting drunk also. Okay, la tomatina. I take a tomato and I throw it to you. I hurl it to you.
Yeah,
This is
I throw it
located.
to you.
Yeah, I throw it to you. This party is the last day of August, I think. Yeah, the last week of August near Valencia. So maybe 300 people, 400 people, sometimes 500 people throwing at each other tomatoes. It's crazy for young people mostly, because you know some people it hits with a tomato in your eyes.
But there's so many good things to do with tomatoes. One of my fondest memories was sitting at a small restaurant in Barcelona, and we had toasted bread. And you
with
first
tomato.
First you put on oil, and then you take garlic and scrub it on the toast, and then you take tomato and scrub it on the bread. Oh, it was so good.
And tumaca, that's it. When with ham or not ham, it's up to you.
We had ham on the tapas. I love tapas.
You have good choices. I mean, your decisions are quite good. Okay, San Fermin. You know San Fermin, the bulls running in the streets and people running with the bulls, trying to avoid the bulls to meterles un corneazo. So, yes. So
I know how to avoid the bulls. I don't go there.
Yes,
that's wise.
That's a good point. Yeah, but during 1 week, it is from the July the 7th, 1 week onwards. Not only the racing of the bulls that takes 5 minutes in 1 day. I mean, during 1 week, 5 minutes per day, they make this race. But the atmosphere of afterwards, drinking, singing, what is the spirit of Spain, is lived also there. And Tenerife carnivals, like Rio, but the Spanish. But really nice in Tenerife. in the island that Daniela explained before, okay? It's obviously in February. It takes 2 weeks, and a lot of people participate in it. This is one of the last videos, just a few seconds of, for my point of view, the most important event of Spain during the year.
Easter.
That is Easter time, Holy Week, Semana Santa. This is filmed in Sevilla, the capital of Andalusia. Look the emotion of the Catholic religion and people. They cry, they shout, they sing. A mixture of emotions, just for the statues, but the statues that has a meaning of Christ, of Virgin Mary. But they are strong enough because of the religion and the spirit of... Okay. It's really emotional. For me, I'm Catholic. We are like Italy, you know, a lot of churches, a lot of religious tradition here. Okay, getting around Spain, like Daniela explained in the other video, you can find
Portugal one.
In this list, in Portugal, we have high-speed trains. You can go from Madrid to Barcelona. It takes 2 hours and a half, and it's 600 kilometers far. It takes 600 kilometers.
Yeah.
I don't know how many miles it makes, but
about 360.
360. Thanks, Charlie, for the assistance.
So
You will
2.5
get paid.
hours. It's
300 kilometers per hour,
yeah,
more or less.
180 miles per hour, más o menos.
That's it. Más o menos. Good point. It's a high-speed train, and you can find also to go to Seville, Córdoba, spread it in Spain peninsula. Okay, and you can find many airports. The two most important in Spain, coming from the US, are Madrid and Barcelona, of course, the two hubs. Okay, by coach, you have many runways. Runway for the plane. You have many highways. Highways for driving. We arrange self-driving for those who want to leave Spain on their own. I want to take a car, and please recommend me where to visit, when to visit. We arrange.
We arrange the itineraries for them.
That's it. Okay, we arrange itineraries like this one. We made this tailor-made tour for one client of us, ham and wine tour in Spain. We make them to visit all kind of wineries, cheese, museums, oil, harvest, fields. Really nice tour. 21 days. They stay here for 21 days. And we can also sell sitting coach tours. I mean, regular tours with more people that goes. We have many of them all around Spain, and also mixing with Portugal, and some of them also with the rest of the countries of Europe. If you have any inquiry, please contact Sherrie, and we will be happy to help you. What we can offer, the same. Everything that you can imagine in Spain, we can do it. We are a team specialized in all kind of tours. We have a deeply knowledge of the territory. We have visited and tried everything we sell. This is important. And we are a multilingual team, okay? So we will be very happy to help you. And that's all. Thank you very much. And sorry, me enrollé. Like in Spanish, me enrollé, it means I talk too much.
It's hard not to talk too much about Spain and Portugal because it's such a beautiful, beautiful area and so much history for 3 different civilizations and a magnificent time. And as I said at the beginning, to think that you can go to Barcelona and have seen Spain is foolish. You have to go and spend a week or 2 weeks to see the full, broad history of this magnificent nation. And Daniel and Daniela, thank you so much for your time this evening. And we thank you. I want to go back. I want to go back, but I want to go to Madrid and Alhambra and the other places now that you've done such a good job explaining it. And we thank you so much.
Guys,
thanks to you, Sherrie and Charlie. Thanks.
well, and I have to tell you, we do a lot of passengers on cruise ships, and as you know, most of the cruises will leave from Barcelona and they go to Portugal and they go to other areas of the Mediterranean. But they could, we're having more and more passengers, especially since they missed vacations last year and part of this year, who are now wanting to do longer length vacations. So they could virtually come in, spend a week in Spain and Portugal, and then board their ship in Barcelona and thoroughly enjoy the rest of the Mediterranean. We have been to Mallorca a few times. Yes. Absolutely love that beautiful island. And so it was just really great for me to see some of the pictures, especially of some of the places that we have been. But like Charlie, thank you all so much for your time today and for doing this recording for us. If you need to reach us, you can call our office at 615-833-0922. That's 615-833-0922. Or you can visit our website at jcp.travel. That's J like Juliet, C like Charlie, P like Papa, .travel. And again, Daniel and Daniela, thank you so very much for your time today. We really appreciate this.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you for the opportunity.
Hasta luego.
Thank you.